rapid turn of events, clashes broke out in Patiala during an anti-Khalistan protest march. Two groups, namely the Shiv Sena and a Sikh group, clashed with each other during the protest march after Sena's anti-Khalistan rally was allegedly countered by a march by Sikh activists. Stones were pelted from rooftops during skirmishes and swords were openly wielded. Now, in the latest statement which has been put out by Punjab's SSP, at least 4 people have been injured in the clashes and 1 SHO has also sustained some wounds. The Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, speaking in the aftermath of the clashes, has promised to take strict action and said that no one will be allowed to disrupt peace and harmony of the state. Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha MP and Punjab in charge Raghav Chadha has also condemned the incident. Taking a political drive, he said, and I quote, "Masterminds of political parties will not be spared." While Chadda's political drive seems to be first amongst the many that are likely to follow, the question remains who's trying to disrupt peace in Punjab. To discuss this in greater details, I'd like to welcome my panelists. First of all, Mr. Jaybans, he's representing the BJP. We also have Sunny Ahluwalia of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ellen Rao, former DCP, and Sanjay Dwivedi, he's representing the Shiv Sena. Remember, the Shiv Sena was the party which was carrying out the anti-Khalistan rally during which the skirmish broke out. Starting first with the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, Sunny Ahluwalia, end of the day, even though it's clear that, Raghav Chadha and other top leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party seems to be pointing fingers at your opposition, at a so-called quote-unquote larger conspiracy, there seems to be some failure on the part of the Punjab government and the Punjab police as well. End of the day, there were various threatening notes which Khalistani elements had been releasing from the past few days. You all knew that today is a day when, there could be tension. The Shiv Sena had also reached out to the Punjab police asking to take out this rally, even though I believe the permission was not given. There were many telltale signs that, the situation could conflagrate or become worse. Why is it that the state administration completely failed to avoid such an unfortunate incident like the one which has taken place today?
First of all, I want to state something very clear that this was a clash between 2 political groups, not 2 religious groups.
Okay.
The Shiv Sena has asked for the permission from the Punjab police. They were denied the permission, but instead of taking out march, they started their march from somewhere else, though they were denied any permission for the march. But they took out a march from some different location, though they were asking for something else. So that permission was denied, number 1. Number 2, they were raising slogans. And what they were raising, anti-Sikh slogans or anti-slogans they were raising. But at the same time, the Shiv Sena has accepted that it was their fault and their working president has been suspended according to the letter available with everyone now. So the thing is very clear that the Shiv Sena, who was the main group who was behind this clash, has accepted their fault, and BJP, the Congress, on the other side was in collaboration with Shiv Sena doing all this, and on the other side there were Akalis who were doing all this. Basically, the problem is that the people of Punjab feels that they are safe, but at the same time they want to make, these political parties want to make something very clear that they want to show some kind of a drama that there's some anti-riots going on in the state. So that is the problem. People are innocent, but the political parties are trying to be normal people and they want to create some kind of differences between communities by doing all these. So the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has called the meeting of DGP and all the police officers today at 5:30, and everything was controlled within 1 hour of the things. But I want to make one appeal through your channel that this was not a clash between 2 communities. This was a clash between 2 political parties who want to disturb the decorum, the state harmony, and the peace in state of Punjab.
Right. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, Sanjay Dwivedi, Aam Aadmi Party very, very clearly putting the entire onus on the Shiv Sena, claiming that it was the Shiv Sena which insisted and carried on that procession despite of being denied permission by the local administration. Do you not think that there was a major escalation from the side of the Shiv Sena as well? Yes, there were, of course, so-called quote-unquote Khalistani elements, and we'll come back to that and we will seek accountability from the AAP spokesperson on that question as well. But end of the day, this cannot be denied that you did carry out that procession despite of being denied, permission by the the administration. Did you not think that the situation could escalate, or there could be, a possible conflagration, if you carry out a procession like this? Sanjay Dwivedi, can you hear me?
हेलो, आवाज आ रही थी?
जी संजय द्विवेदी जी, हमें आपकी आवाज आ रही है। मुझे आपसे ये पूछना है, अगर आपको एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से परमिशन नहीं मिली थी तो शिवसेना ने इस तरह की रैली क्यों निकाली? क्या आपने ये एंटिसिपेट नहीं करा था कि सिचुएशन बहुत जल्दी ही बिगड़ सकती है और इस तरह के क्लैशेस हो सकते हैं? और बहुत फुटेजेस भी आई हैं जिसमें शिवसैनिक भी दिख रहे हैं आपकी तरफ से जो पत्थरबाजी कर रहे हैं सर।
नहीं, देखिए, बहुत स्पष्ट बताते हैं आपने। शिवसेना को जन्म जो हुआ है, शिवसेना जो बनी है, वो राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतों को तोड़ने के लिए बनी, आतंकवाद के विरुद्ध बनी है। मनी बाला साहब ने जब भी आपकी जो वैष्णो देवी की यात्रा थी, आपकी जो यात्राएं होती थी जम्मू कश्मीर में, अमरनाथ यात्रा होती थी, उसको हमेशा ना करने की चेतावनी देते थे कि मैं अमरनाथ यात्रा नहीं होने दूंगा। तो तब भी माननीय बाला साहब ठाकरे ने स्पष्ट वो कहते थे, उस पर लोग कहते भी थे साहब ये बड़ा पैसा बोलते हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि मैं अगर ट्रेन नहीं उड़ने दूंगा मुंबई से। अब जैसे पाकिस्तान ने जो आतंकवाद फैलाया था 95-96 तब, उस समय बाला साहब ठाकरे ने देखा जब कोई भी नहीं बोल रहा है।
नहीं, आप आज का बताइए सर, पास ठीक है, वी नो शिवसेना पास, आप मुझे आज का बताइए कि आज आपने ये रैली ली थी, आपको परमिशन तो मिली नहीं थी, फिर भी आपने ये रैली क्यों करी?
मैं आज ही बारे में, उस समय भी माननीय बाला साहब ठाकरे कहने पे पिच छोड़ दी गई थी और क्रिकेट मैच नहीं होने दिया था। हमारे 4 साल हमारे सब आज ही घटना है, उसमें भी मैं
Okay, first of, I think, sir, there is an audio issue, with your connection. We'll come back to you. I could not fully understand what you were trying to say. But before I go to the internal security expert, one more question for the, BJP spokesperson, another political person on our panel. Sumit Peer is also with us. Apologies, Sumit Peer. He's a political commentator. I'll go to Sumit Peer as well. Jaybans, representing the BJP, also with us. Mr. Jaybans, earlier you had raised some serious allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party. You had invoked the allegations which were made by Kumar Vishwas as well. The BJP once again reiterating the same allegations, considering that the clashes took place in the backdrop of an anti-Khalistani rally being taken out, even though without permit by the Shiv Sena.
Thank you. I have a few very serious points to put across, so please give me 30 seconds of uninterrupted time. Firstly, it is very important for me to reiterate, which I always reiterate in all such debates, that Khalistan is not an issue in Punjab anymore. There is no sane Punjabi who ever wants Khalistan here or who roots for Khalistan. It is something which is being done by enemies of the nation from abroad through their own paid vested interests, and as such, for us, Gurprat Pannu is only a rebel rouser, and to that extent, his organization, Sikh for Justice, has been banned.
Okay.
Secondly, it is very important for me to say that Shiv Sena, and you see people have got a habit of combining Shiv Sena with BJP RSS. It is very important to reiterate here that BJP RSS
nobody here is mixing the two, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So, this is the second point. The third point is that it being very unfortunate, it is not enough for Aam Aadmi Party to condemn this issue because they are the government. They have to take action. And it is very, very clear that they were caught sleeping because this thing, as you have said, it was already known that Shiv Sena is going to create a problem like this, and the fact that they allowed this problem to escalate to the extent from whichever location they started to the very holy Kali Mata Mandir, which is a place of great importance for Patiala and a very venerated site over here, is something which is very, very unfortunate, and for which the complete responsibility has to be taken by the Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Sunny Ahluwalia said that the situation has been controlled. I stay in Patiala. I was there at about 1 o'clock. I saw at about 2 o'clock nothing has been controlled. Those people are still sitting and brandishing swords in a place called Fawara Chowk, which is just about.
So yes, we were getting footages from Fawara Chowk as well till 2:30, and there were people brandishing sword, and that part is correct. As of now, it's 5:15 p.m. So perhaps the situation has changed. But I'd like to bring in Ellen Rao as well. Ellen Rao, of course, as expected, a war of word has started between the political parties. Who do you think is responsible if Khalistani elements are already giving threats? If Khalistan Day banners are being published and brandished in countries like Australia, Canada, others, we do know that Khalistani elements will try to foment trouble, and there were telltale signs which were very, very clearly ignored. I had earlier spoken to the local MLA of the area who claimed to suggest that it was a central intelligence failure which led to the clashes exacerbating and escalating and reaching such levels. Sir, as an internal security expert, how do you view this entire situation first of all?
Ma'am, it's known fact that in Punjab the terrorism may be taken a new form because of some interrogations, and they passed so many people when the persons were arrested, and it was seen that Sikh for Khalistan, an organization by Mr. Pannu in abroad, they were trying to involve the people, local people in Punjab. They want to revive the Punjab terrorism again. And it also came in interrogation of few persons who were arrested in the recent past, about 1 year or 2 years back. But I think that our intelligence agencies are very much alert, and they are giving foolproof information about it. Wherever there is any you can say smoke of this terrorism fire, then it is being controlled very meticulously.
So who does the onus lie with, sir? Who does the onus lie with?
Onus lies with the intelligence agency and the local police, because they are the responsible.
Okay.
That the state police is responsible to control the situation, and if there is something comes there, they should control it. And if there is central agencies and the local intelligence failure is stated to be by some of our scope, and it can be seen. I don't think that central agencies are failing in their duties. They are telling each and everything to the state, and the state agencies also having their own intelligence agency. They should also work on all these inputs which are available to them, and this is the right time that we should put an end to this terrorism in Punjab, because in 80s Punjab was highly burning for these terrorism activities, and if it is again started, I must tell you that it is a great loss to the state.
That seems a little far-fetched, sir. I apologize, I'm interrupting you, but the situation of the 80s and today, very, very, drastically different. It seems a really little far-fetched, but yes, sir, it is a matter of concern, isn't it, Sumit Peer? End of the day, yes, I've taken your point, Ellen. I'm just taking it forward, Sumit Peer. End of the day, it is quite disturbing, even though it's a clash between two political parties, as the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson claims. If there is an anti-Khalistani rally which is being taken out, and if it's attacked, and then there is, of course, this type of situation, escalation which we've seen take place in Patiala, it is an extremely worrying situation when we speak of the security of the whole country also.
Thank you very much. I have 2 or 3 points to make. The point number 1 is, which is very important point, is that, today the state police is under Arvind Kejriwal ji, Aam Aadmi Party, and under Bhagwant Mann ji, the Honorable Chief Minister of Punjab. So whatever happens in Punjab, whoever is responsible, it is their responsibility to put their house in order. Always Aam Aadmi Party has told, bhai, Delhi mein hamare paas police nahi, otherwise we would have done this, we would have done this. In Punjab, you have the complete police mechanism, complete intelligence under your hand. Now, if such a thing happens, it's a point to worry. Point number 2, in Fawara Chowk, we have seen their clear, this narebazi happening, Khalistan Zindabad, Khalistan Zindabad. Now, who are these people? Now, let's not befool ourselves. There's not these pro-Khalistani elements who have been operational there, and they're brandishing swords and talking openly. There's a point number 3. There's an attempt by Pakistan to create a Hindu-Sikh divide. I will be very candid here. They are trying their level best to create a Hindu-Sikh divide back in Punjab, and they will go to any extent to do it. Okay. It is the onus is on the Aam Aadmi Party to prevent it. I agree, there is no Hindu-Sikh divide or dispute as on date, but if these Khalistani elements are not controlled, and if they go out open and saying Khalistan Zindabad and
they were actually
you cannot blame the center government for this. When you don't have the police, you blame the center government. Now when you have the police, you again blame the center government.
Okay,
then what are you doing in the government?
Point taken, sir. It's only fair that I bring in Sunny Ahluwalia. He's representing the Aam Aadmi Party, and Sunny, you've been very patiently listening to all the allegations. Let me summarize one after the other. Allegation number one, which of course your other opposition co-panelists seem to make, is that Khalistani elements have been given a free run under your government. And second, in a much bigger, in a more very serious allegation, is the law and order situation. End of the day, it's a fair point that in Delhi you can say that the police is not under your control, but why is the situation deteriorating so much, in Punjab, that we are seeing clashes, swords being brandished for hours altogether, and all of that footage has been aired live for hours on television channels today?
Basically, I want to make one thing. See, number one is that who have started this rally? Who has started this march? Who were these? Though Shiv Sena has accepted, they have done it.
Yes, I'll go. Yes, that point I take, and I will ask the Shiv Sena spokesperson this question. But what about the role of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Second, I'm going to see, when you say law and order is in hands of Punjab police, definitely we believe that it is under the Punjab police, and Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann has very clearly mentioned that every person who is involved in this will be in the jail in next. It is very clear that things have happened. Though the intelligence agency from center always tell us that these kinds of things are going to happen. Though you can say that it is under our hand, but at the center, it is the responsibility of center as well. Okay. Yes, it is in our hand. We are looking after law and order, and we assure the people of Punjab that Aam Aadmi Party is not going to spare a person.
But Sunny, you'll accept that there's been some lapse. Today you won't even accept that there's been some lapse, at least as far as, maintaining law and order in the state is concerned?
No, people, the notorious politicians who are doing all this, why they are doing? All the mafias have been closed down by the Aam Aadmi Party. So, in the mind of people of Punjab, not only in Punjab, but in other states as well, so that they have a fear that Aam Aadmi Party is doing very well.
Okay, Sunny, your voice is breaking a little bit, but I've taken your point, and the BJP spokesperson, if you could come in here, Jaybant sir, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, towards the end, before we lost the audio, seems to be suggesting that there are political forces, opposition acting inimical to the interest of the Punjabis and the people of Punjab, because they are scared of the publicity of the Aam Aadmi Party. It's an indirect pot shot at your party as well. How do you respond?
A lot of hogwash, and they are just trying to hide their inability to control this situation, for which I can speak volumes, but there is less time. Firstly, one thing I would clear that there is no intelligence failure over here, because there is no intelligence involved in this thing. The fact that Shiv Sena was going to do something on the 29th is known for the last couple of days, and they had made it very public. So there was no intelligence required over there, central or state. It only required the police to do its job, and the police has not done its job. You see, these elements of the Shiromani Akali Dal Mann who have come could not have come from the local areas of Patiala. They have come from outside. If they have come from the Sangrur side, they have travelled something like 60 to 70 kilometers and about 500 to 1,000 people. So why did the state not come to, the police not come to know about it? So I think Sunny Ahluwalia ji should not be hiding the lapses. He should be graceful enough to accept that what has happened should not have happened, and there is some serious law and order issues over here. And to say over here that the mafia, they have controlled the mafia and the mafia is after them, no mafia in Punjab has been controlled as yet. The sand mining is going on as it was going earlier. The land mafia is functioning. Drugs are being caught every day, but the kingpins are not being caught. So they should not try to, give a very rosy picture about Punjab to the outside areas. This thing is very, very dangerous.
The pictures which we have really are a testament of what's happening there in Patiala, and these are very, very dramatic visuals of swords being brandished openly, stones being pelted by both sides. But end of the day, Sanjay Dwivedi, and I hope we've got your audio back, sir, Shiv Sena also has to take some responsibility at the end of the day. When you were denied permission, sir, by the administration, why did you carry out a rally like this, Mr. Dwivedi? आपको permission नहीं मिली थी पुलिस प्रशासन से, आपको पता था कि situation खराब हो सकती है, फिर भी शिवसेना ने ये रैली निकाली. आपको नहीं लगता है कि शिवसेना की तरफ से भी थोड़ी चूक हुई है?
नहीं, देखिए आप ये कैसे कह सकते हैं कि शिवसेना की तरफ से चूक हुई है? राष्ट्रविरोधी नारे लग रहे हैं पूरे देश में. अगर पंजाब में राष्ट्रविरोधी नारे, खालिस्तान जिंदाबाद, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे लगेंगे
पर सर आम आदमी पार्टी का कहना है कि आप एंटी सिख नारे दे रहे थे, उससे भी लोगों में गुस्सा हुआ है।
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है मैडम, ऐसा एंटी सिख नारे हम क्यों देंगे? आज सिख जो है सबसे ज्यादा आतंकवादी विरोधी रहा है, आतंकवाद को पनपने नहीं दिया है। लेकिन कुछ लोग उसमें ऐसे हैं जो अगर खालिस्तान जिंदाबाद का नारा लगा रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद का नारा लगा रहे हैं, तो क्या को उनको रोकने का अधिकार भी नहीं है। हमने मेमोरेंडम दिया, हमने परमिशन मांगी, हम तो परमिशन मांग रहे थे ना, ऐसा तो नहीं कि हमने अचानक रैली निकाल दी हो। हाँ, हमने बिना परमिशन मांगे रैली निकाल दी हो। तो जो वहाँ का लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कंट्रोल करने का काम होता है वो हमारे पंजाब की सरकार का काम है, या वहाँ के जो हमारे डीजीपी हैं, आईजी हैं, उनका काम है, लोकल इंटेलिजेंस का काम है। भाई हम तो शांति पूर्वक एक अपनी रैली निकाल रहे थे। हमने जो अभी तक जितना भी हमने अभी देखा है उसमें ये कहा जा रहा है कि वो लोग आए और उन्होंने मारपीट शुरू कर दी, ईंटा पत्थर चलाने लगे। तो ये जो सिचुएशन बनी है इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? इसका जिम्मेदार तो सबसे पहले वहाँ की पुलिस को देखना चाहिए।
So you say the police, which is of course under the Aam Aadmi Party government, is responsible. I've taken your point. Ellen Rao, sir, as a former DCP, end of the day, as we were discussing earlier, multiple telltale signs. Shiv Sena had said for days that they're going to carry out a rally like this. They had given out a call. There were, of course, threats coming from the Khalistani elements. It was Khalistan Day as well. Extremely worrying situation. One, deteriorating and shocking law and order lapses as far as the Punjab state administration is concerned. And secondly, sir, over and above everything, it does look like that there is a certain segment which was, if reports are to be believed, quite, infuriated with anti-Khalistani slogans being shouted and propelled. Why should that happen at all? Is that how do you view the situation? Do you see the situation as extremely worrying when we speak, one, of security, law and order within Punjab at a local level, and of course as far as, security, safety of the entire country is concerned?
Yes, my lord. Jasmine, because in Punjab there is definitely a security concern, because they were aware that some people are listening, and even then they could not stop this anti-slogan and vandalism of these forts in that Patiala area. So this becomes a very serious concern, or the security issue, internal security issue, not only in Punjab. It will also it may also escalate all over India also, because of these situations. And in Punjab, definitely, as Mr. Sumit Peer said, that Punjab government is totally under the control of CM. It is not like here in Kejriwal saying that Delhi police is not in control. Then they should be fully responsible for holding such type of things, and then the local administration and police. Why the permission was granted if there was some sort of these things were there. If that permission was granted, then the security arrangements and the full...
No, permission, just to clarify, Mr. Rao, permission was not granted. As the Sena also accepts...
That becomes more serious. That becomes more serious on the part of police. Without permission, how they allowed to carry on such type of process, and which could escalate that escalated very violent situation.
Fair point, sir. Fair point. Fair point, and I would like to take a comment before we close from the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. But before that, Sumit Peet, sir, you did speak about how you believe that radical elements, anti-India elements are being given a free run under, or rather in Punjab. What would you say about today's situation? How do you view this? Would you, would you still stand by your earlier statement that, that Khalistani elements, as you believe, the fringe, which is being perhaps indoctrinated by forces outside of India, is literally being given a free hand, and the visuals today sort of a testament of that, considering we saw swords being brandished for hours altogether, and all of that, of course, was telecast live on almost all TV channels.
Ma'am, there are 3 or 4 points I want to make. First of all, the law and order situation in Punjab is bad. You look at the number of murders since Aam Aadmi Party has taken over, and you look at today's incident. Permission given or not given, Shiv Sena or not Shiv Sena, Khalistan Zindabad, Pakistan Zindabad nares are available for anybody to... This is not an allegation what I'm putting.
Okay.
No, why in Pakistan media there's a talk that in Pakistan and Khalistani elements are happy with the Aam Aadmi government coming in Punjab? Why this belief is there? Now what happened today on the ground, doesn't that belief become a reality? And when on the drop of a hat, Arvind Kejriwal ji says Amit Shah is responsible. Last time anything there, Amit Shah is responsible. Now today who is responsible? It isn't Mr. Bhagwant Mann who is responsible. Isn't Mr. Raghav Chadha who is responsible? When Amit Shah is responsible for anything what happens in Delhi, how can Arvind ji, Raghav Chadha ji and Bhagwant Mann ji not be responsible for what happens in Punjab. You cannot blame it on Delhi either ways. In Delhi, you blame it on the center, and in Punjab, you again blame it on the center. Well, that can't happen. Let's address the elephant in the room. Pakistan is trying their level best to ferment trouble in Punjab.
Yeah.
We have to get together and to fight it. And let me send a message
So
to
as
Pakistan.
we close,
आप
I've
हिंदू
taken.
सिख को अलग नहीं कर सकते.
Yes, there is point taken.
That message has to go loud and strong.
Point taken that there is no division between Hindus and Sikhs. I'm completely running out of time. I've actually been told to wrap this debate, but I have to take a point from the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson because a lot of allegations coming against your party. So as we close, many of the panelists suggesting that Khalistani elements being given a free run under your government. Your government has failed, in controlling the law and order situation. As we close, what would you like to say about all the allegations which have come your way?
Madam, one thing I want to tell to Sumit sir, that please don't try to create these kinds of situation where you are saying that people from Pakistan, we are giving free hand to the BJP spokesperson is also agreeing to this, that these kinds of pro-Khalistan nothing is there in Punjab. But you are trying to, figure out these kinds of things that the party is given a green corridor to Khalistan. It is not there, sir. I want to make things clear.
So as
law
we
and
close,
order.
Would you say that there were no pro-Khalistani slogans chanted, that the clash didn't happen because anti-Khalistan slogans were chanted? Because this is what Shiva Sena claims.
These were done by the political parties of Punjab. This was not done by any other. These were done by political party. Shromani Akali Dal, Mann,
Okay.
and other was Shiv Sena. The thing is clear. The clash was between two political parties. They are trying to change this event to anti-Sikh.
So point taken.
These kind of things for Punjab.
All right, so point taken. The blame game will continue. The Aam Aadmi Party claims that it was two political parties which clashed. Of course, the people of Punjab, we all know how, there is hardly any pro-Khalistani sentiment. It's an agenda, propaganda which has been rejected by the people of India, the people of Punjab a long time ago. But yes, end of the day, the Aam Aadmi Party does have some tough questions when it comes to the law and order situation in the state. When there were so many telltale signs, why were precautions not taken? And if they were taken, how could violence escalate so rapidly in Punjab? Of course, as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, they are taking political potshots and jibes at their opposition. The political war of words only expected to escalate. From here on, we just hope that peace prevails in Punjab. And big question, end of the day, really, is that who's trying to disrupt peace in a state like Punjab? And with that open-ended question, I close the debate and thank all the experts.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.